double team. You just saw a willing passer down there as well.
Slammed in by Shumpert. A good 11-point lead for New York. My goodness.
Welcome back, you guys. And at one point in Iman Shumpert's NBA career with the Knicks, he was considered one of the more promising perimeter defenders in the NBA, and a few years later he would help the Cavs win a championship in Game 7 of the 2016 Finals. Perimeter players in the NBA that specialize in defense and three-point shooting have huge value, and Shumpert looked like he was going to have a long, successful career after his rookie season. But in 2018, Shumpert hasn't played a game of basketball since February. What happened? Before we talk about Iman Shumpert's career, I want to talk about today's sponsor, Hardwood Amino. Amino is an app that has over 1 million different communities, and if you're looking for another place to talk about the NBA playoffs, then I definitely recommend checking out Hardwood Amino. What I really like about it is that they have a live layer feature at the bottom of the app, so you can see which quizzes, polls, and other content is trending at that exact moment. Whether you want to take part in creating content or you'd rather just read other fans' opinions on the best of the NBA Twitter section, it is the perfect app if you enjoy the sport of basketball. You can download the app on your mobile device by searching for Hardwood Amino in the App Store or Google Play Store. I have a profile on there, so you can follow me at CaineLovesCali. It will be in the description. Thank you again to Amino for sponsoring this video, and let's talk about Shumpert's career. The New York Knicks drafted Iman Shumpert with the 17th pick of the 2011 NBA Draft after he led Georgia Tech in scoring, rebounds, and assists. For the first couple games of the 2011-2012 season, the Knicks brought Shumpert off the bench, but soon they would put him in the starting lineup because he proved that he was capable of defending both guard positions at a high level. Shump is 6'5" with a 6'9" wingspan and recorded a 42-inch vertical leap at the draft combine, so he was very athletic. You probably remember Jeremy Lin's clutch three-point shot against the Raptors in February 2012, but what you forgot about that game was Iman Shumpert's defense on Jose Calderon in the fourth quarter. What's the big deal about shutting down Calderon? Well, you gotta remember Calderon was still a starting caliber point guard 6 years ago, and 2 days before that game in 2012, Jose had a 30-point game against the Lakers, and he was up to 25 points on the Knicks that night. Iman was able to slow down Calderon in the final 5 minutes of that game and help the Knicks get to the point where Lin could take the game-winning shot. And this was a common theme throughout his entire rookie season. He was the Knicks' best perimeter defender, and he always took that assignment. He and Tyson Chandler gave the Knicks a defensive presence on the perimeter and in the paint that they had not had in years. Shump had a strong month in March where he showed potential of being a 3-and-D type of player next to Carmelo Anthony. He finished his first year in the NBA getting 5th place in Rookie of the Year voting, and Shump actually received a few votes for Defensive Player of the Year. But unfortunately, during Game 1 of the first round of the playoffs versus the Heat, he tore the ACL and meniscus in his left knee on this play. This injury really ruined the momentum of Shumpert's pretty solid rookie year, and injuries were a common theme throughout his career. He was either recovering from an injury in the middle of a season or he suffered another injury. Shumpert finally made his return to the court on January 2013, which was right in the middle of the Knicks' best season in years. They won 54 games and were ranked 3rd in the league in offensive efficiency. He was still doing the good things he usually does on defense, like getting steals, contesting shots, and getting out in transition. Even though he was recovering from that injury, Shump still looked pretty athletic and he had the best three-point shooting season of his career. In that year's playoffs, he had his best game in the Game 6 loss versus Indiana in the semifinals. Outside of Carmelo Anthony, the Knicks struggled to score for most of that series, but Shumpert came through in Game 6 with 19 points and 5 made three-point shots. He hit a number of big threes when the Pacers shut down the Knicks' first looks on offense, but he ended up fouling out of that game. That was a decent comeback year for Shumpert after the injury, and he was finally going to have an off-season where he was healthy. The 2013-2014 season came, and the Knicks were looking to get back to the playoffs with Andrea Bargnani, but that did not happen. His shooting numbers that year dropped a bit across the board, and I wouldn't say he was bad on defense that year, but it seemed like he defended better on the perimeter in his first 2 seasons. Shumpert can stay in front of guys with his agility and athleticism, but he plays out of control sometimes. He'll get down in a low defensive stance like he's about to clamp someone, but then he commits a foul. Moving on to the 2014-2015 season, that was the year he got traded to Cleveland with J.R. Smith before the 2015 deadline. To refresh your memory, the Cavs that year were struggling in the first 3 months. LeBron was out for 2 weeks, and the day of the trade, the Cavs were only 19-15. They needed some new life injected into them, and Shump and J.R. helped out on the perimeter. In that year's playoffs, he shot decently from the three-point line, especially against the Bulls and the Hawks, but in the NBA Finals, he struggled to make shots. Once Kyrie Irving went down with an injury in Game 1, Shumpert was forced to play a bigger role on offense, which he isn't really capable of. He shot 25% overall from the field, and while he played good defense at times, I would say his defense was better with the Knicks. Let me know if you agree with that. The Cavs signed him to a 4-year, $40 million contract in the 2015 summer, but soon he would suffer another injury. He had to sit out 3 months of the regular season because of a right wrist injury, and that wasn't the last injury he would have to go through that year. Shump missed the last couple games of the 2016 regular season because he had to get his left knee drained, and even though he was having the worst three-point shooting season of his career, the Cavs did not have many perimeter defenders, so losing Shump for even 1 or 2 playoff games was going to be a big problem. Fortunately, Shump did not miss any playoff games, and he hit one of the biggest shots of the finals in Game 7 versus Golden State. In a game the Cavs won by 4 points, Shumpert converted a 4-point play in the second quarter. That was a huge shot at that point in the game because the Warriors were shutting down most of the Cavs' offense in the second quarter. Moving on to the 2016-2017 season, Shumpert had the healthiest year of his career. He played a career-high 76 games and had a way better shooting season percentage-wise. His defense was, I would say, really inconsistent though. Going into the 2017 NBA Finals, Shumpert had this to say about not being involved in the offense.
A lot of times during the finals, we needed another guy to make plays, and I felt like I could do it. But because during the year, at times, I would shy away from it for the concerns of the team. Nobody trusted me with the ball.
James in the paint, kicks it out. Shumpert. Shumpert side on the backboard.
That was funny. I'm sorry.
Shump's inability to make a three-point shot really showed in that series. He clanked a shot off the backboard and proved why nobody on the Cavs trusted him with the ball. He's just not that guy. Iman never developed an off-the-dribble game or a consistent three-point shot. He was basically the same player in his rookie year, but worse and banged up due to injuries. Moving on to today's season, Shumpert once again had to deal with another injury. He was out 6 weeks because of left knee surgery, but soon he would be off the Cavs. The Cavs traded him to Sacramento a few months ago, and they actually were looking to trade Shump for over a year. One of the rumors about trading Shump was that the Cavs believed he was more focused on his rap career and clothing line than basketball. He did not play 1 game for Sacramento this year, and I'd assume he'll be coming off the bench for them next year. Iman Shumpert is 27 years old and has 1 more year on his contract. He'll be a free agent in the summer of 2019, so we'll have a better idea of what's next for Shump in about 9 months. I think the combination of his injuries, him never getting better at spot-up threes, never developing an off-the-dribble game, and the off-the-court stuff contributed to him peaking with the Knicks. Shump has other hobbies and a reality show with Tiana Taylor, so I'm sure he'll be okay if his career is done after next year. What do you guys think? Will Shump be signed after 2019? My bad about the poll with Capella and Shump, but hey, I got out both of the vids, so I appreciate it if you're still here. If you enjoyed even one part, definitely drop a like as it helps my channel grow, and I'll see you guys in my next one.